Hello and welcome back to Gary Plays Darkest Dungeon with the Duckfeed Memorial Dungeon Estate. I am still chugging these episodes, recording many of them in a row because I'm excited about the content. Excuse me while I take a sip. A lot of stuff going on in the state. Full house over here. Ben and Audrey getting rid of Z's, Riff and Zombie Ham getting rid of some bad traits. Nobody's in stress relief. We did take our new antiquarian. We're not taking her out yet. Jack Riggies. Gonna save that for a week where we don't have anything good to do. Ignore that beep. We're gonna go fight a boss. We're finally gonna fight the Incohate flesh. Here's the reasons. 1, they said the Warrens is where the pet crew might be. 2, been a while since we fought a canon boss, so we haven't heard Wayne's juicy voiceovers on characters for a while, so I'm looking forward to pumping the volume a little bit. Can you hear that? 3, though, look at this interesting trinket. Incantation. It gets better the more stress you have, but it lowers your stress healing. So, like, I'm imagining this with a flagellant. You put a flagellant at 100% stress, they get rapturous, which is a good, relatively good affliction. Like, does more damage, still acts weird, but really cool. I don't know how much use I'm going to get out of it. I just think it's neat. If I sell it, it's very rare, so it's worth it regardless for that. And we're going to get less stress during this mission, as we mentioned, because we have that wandering mendicant, which, you know, will be good. But anywho, this is our crew going against the Flesh. This is a pretty good Flesh crew. Not perfect. In fact, you know I keep doing this. I can't afford to outfit. So this is Arlen here. Flagellant is a better boss, or a better character, versus the Incohate Flesh. But I'm going to have to do a whole dungeon before that. I might have to fight the pet catchers. I'm going to keep with Greta, because Greta's fully leveled up. Skill set. Probably don't actually need Inspiring Cry. I'm going to do Bulwark. If I put more points in that, it just gives a little bit more protection. But don't need Inspiring Cry. Actually, no, I'm going to keep Inspiring Cry because having a heal in case someone gets on death's door is worth it. Can prevent the ambush. Quick reflexes. Surgical Gloves for additional crit. Potion X for additional melee damage. Just going to be doing damage to the front line. That's Greta's role. Contest winner. Going to be hitting things with magic. Also helping our scouting chance and helping monsters get surprised with this baller trinket. Doing extra damage and having extra speed because of the crescendo box. It's going to be going first, hopefully alpha striking. Zach hasn't been out in a while. Zach, who's a Warren Scrounger, so additional scouting. Going to be doing a standard Jester setup for me. Mostly here for a bleed capability. So bleed is really effective against the Incohate Flesh. Also going to keep our stress down. Critical dice for extra crit chance. The crit chance is already really good. I thought about doubling down on that and giving, I have another crit trinket. Decided to go for the dodge, giving him 35 dodge, which is pretty incredible, and really good speed. So going to be able to land those bleeds quick. Then Lidrian, who's a Born Leader. I'm going to see what that is. Restrict to 1 hero as Inspiring Aura. I have no idea what that does. Warrior of Light, quick draw, really good. Standard loadout, and Tome of Holy Healing and Shurden's Charm. Decided not to get less stun because there are parts of the Incohate Flesh that are very worth stunning. So we need money. Could have done a whole deal. Could have done a Suicide Squad. Decided not to. I'm gonna try a little something here and provision a little bit less than I usually do. I want to learn from my mistakes. We're gonna take these Vigor Stones for the boss to do additional damage. Don't need to worry about these. I'm gonna save these. Don't need any Aegis Scales. This is not a tough fight. I'm trying a stack and a half. This median dungeon. Still want keys. This stuff is still useful. Alright, let's go. Let me turn up the volume so we can hear the narration here. I'm sorry if I don't get this perfect. I'm still trying to get the balance on this stuff.
My zeal for blood rituals and summoning rites had begun to ebb, as each attempt invariably brought only failure and disappointment. Progress was halting, and the rapidly accumulating surplus of wasted flesh had become burdensome.
It's so good. It's just incredible.
The thing is more terrible than I can describe. An
Describe.
incoherent jumble of organ, sinew, and bone.
Okay, I know exactly where to go. Maybe upper left. Let's give these guys some damage buffs. 15% damage for the quest. That's so good. He's got some stress actually going on, so I don't know. That's just kind of left over. And if the Incohate flesh doesn't body us, we'll explore more and try to do a big payday, of course. You know, this just needs to definitely pay for itself, obviously. But anything additionally it can do. And the first time they, you know... Oh, no scout, huh? They don't just give us an absolutely tempting... I forgot shovels.
Purpose is made clear.
It's okay, though, if you're going to forget shovels. So first of all, anyone screaming at their computer or whatever that I forgot shovels during that, I appreciate you. You have not done me... Oh, hey, Shambler. Alright, so I'm certainly not fighting the Shambler first. Can this crew take on a Shambler? Does he have... He doesn't have Holy Lance. She does have Mace Bash. I'm going to maybe try it. Let's see how this goes. But I'll save a torch. If you were yelling at the screen saying, like, hey, bring a shovel, I appreciate you. Not mad at you. I love you. If you're going to forget a shovel, though, the Warrens is great because you don't need as many here. There's lots of different ways to get around, and there just aren't as many, you know? Let's actually do the buff. There aren't as many walls, you know, which is cool. You cannot be stunned. You had to be hurt. One of the things I like about these modded creatures, it seems like they have, they've all basically increased the reason why you might want to, if I do the dragon thing, I can hit this first guy. Yeah. Why you might want to get rid of, have de-stealthing things. Because they're generally not very useful. These actually, Crusader and Arcanist have a nice little synergy, actually, with him providing light, torchlight, and him using it. So, yeah, not bad. 32. And that did increase the torchlight, possibly because of, you know. Just make sure he doesn't get off a move. He wasn't gonna anyway. Alright. Excited by the idea of fighting that Shambler. This is a weird crew for it. Crusaders, not great at Shamblers, if I'm being super honest. They, if I give the Holy Lance, they can move her around, but otherwise they're just kind of limited in mobility. And they really can't hit the back row. Just like thinking, if I fight the Shambler, who's going to be killing the Shambler? Jester might be able to hit it. Vestal can hit it, but she's going to be busy healing. It's going to be mostly on the Arcanist. Still worth it because I can always run. You know, this is assuming, again, I come out of the Incohate flesh feeling good. Won't necessarily. But if I do, because it's not that hard of a boss fight, it's apprentice level and I'm really well prepared, I might do it.
A singular strike.
I'd really like that, he does have Zealous. Yeah.
Onslaught. Destroy them all.
4 rounds. Your pocket kind of going a little crazy in the background. Don't know what that's about.
Time to perform beyond one.
Oh, yeah, he's back in the shadows there. Sure. Fish for crits. Stealth is an annoying mechanic in this game, I gotta say. Well, everybody has a buff. Oh, that's because of the Jester. I was wondering if it was because of her. And her leadership or whatever the hell that is.
Back to the pit.
Alright. Alright, so this is the boss fight. No fights. Oh! Excuse me? So it started here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, okay, it's actually in the upper middle. Alright, so we can... I actually could have figured that out beforehand. But it's okay that I didn't. Yeah, the Shambler did a lot of stress damage. We got that negative 20% stress buff for this whole thing. I have a Holy Wire to put on this, which is awesome. That's going to give me a big damage buff. Probably going to give it to my Jester. Get those bleeds. Still doing pretty good on torches. I'm going to camp out. So I think I can keep using Dragon Breath for the increased stun. I got the stun. And let's do other stun here. Letting these stress dealer do hang out. And oh, look at that crit. Reason being is because I have that stress buff. I have a Jester as well. I'm not too worried about stress right now. I don't want disease. I don't want you know, nasty damage over time that are going to drain my resources, because the Incohate Flash can hit me with nasty stuff. Okay, so he's going to get killed with the Zealous Accusation. Let's slice off this fool.
A brilliant confluence of skill and purpose.
Starting to think, not necessarily, but it's possible that the Arcanist is a little bit overpowered. You know, again, this is an apprentice level. This is not supposed to be hard. Not trying to cheat. Let's lean into it, though. Oh, that's not the right thing for the Bone Altar. What do you use of the Bone Altar? I cannot remember. I thought it was that. Okay. Oh, there's a wall! Oh, but there's a secret room. I've never had so many different, Let's go to that secret room. We're gonna go around to avoid digging through the wall on the way to the boss. I could dig through it and then go back and camp and basically, like, take care of it, but let's go to the secret room afterwards. I'm not gonna forget. I feel like that's something that's, you know, Darkest Dungeon YouTubers and streamers probably say a lot, and then they lie to you, and they actually do forget. I'm not... Oh, hello, Pocket. I'm not going to forget. As long as there's not a wall between this passage and the one to the north, we'll be all good. I would like that painting. Do I... Yeah, I want more than that. The one mod I considered installing makes it so you can keep those journal entries without taking them home. Like, you don't have to use inventory space for them. It's one of the decisions I've always hated in this game. There's a challenge mod called Pitch Black Dungeon that I'll never do in a million years. That looks just like incredibly tough. I know I say never in a million years is it dramatic. I might. Looks incredibly tough. But one of the things it does, he can prevent the ambush. Okay. One of the things it does is make it so those are worth money. I don't need a feast. I don't have that much stress. Alright. Prevent the ambush. Now it is time for buffs. So, mostly going to be you. Oh, we can get him to ignore someone to ignore stealth. That's real fun. Presence of mind. Combustion on self. So let's give him the accuracy. Oh, it gives anybody one companion. Don't have like great buffs here actually with this team. Stand tall, who cares? Pep talk, who cares? Yeah. So let's pump up. So let's get you to ignore stealth. Let's give him increase speed. Him increase crit multiplier for the first round. He's going to do a lot of crits. Man, this is lame. Are really going to use Encourage to get rid of 2 stress? I guess not. I'm going to use Pep Talk to keep stress off you. Yeah, this is... almost need to fight a Shambler. It's not going to be like challenging enough. And we'll get rid of that other 2 stress right here. Alright, so let's learn about the Incohate flesh. It's a pretty cool concept. Pretty cool visual. This is the Incohate flesh. Every turn it changes into different modes. It has 4 different modes. This is a really bad configuration actually. So this first thing, 70% protect. This thing does a stun attack, I think. This thing just does a big damage, 50% protect. 70, 70. As different modes it turns into, it swaps every round. The whole thing shares a health bar, even though it's all technically different creatures. Now, none of them have that much bleed resistance, which is how we're going to kill it. So, because it shares a health bar, applying bleed to multiple, and it only applied 1, but that's okay. Why would I do that big speed? While he has all this protection? Yeah, let's get this big speed buff. Let's cast haste on everybody. And we'll try to stun one of these things. So anyway, multiple bleeds is really good, because every time one of these things takes its turn, it does also AoE. So 2 to 4 and 3 to 6. I'll add up this damage. That's actually probably worth just doing rather than stunning, even though I think I'm actually going to stun. Doing damage control, because these spines are... well, I didn't get a stun. These spines are obnoxious. So, and you can see he hits hard. This Bone Zephyr thing, though, this can stun. Don't stun me, please. Alright, I said I'd prefer not to be stunned. I can clear the stun, though, which is interesting. Okay, so this is better. These things do, I think, blight damage. They have less protection, but almost no bleed resistance. This thing also has... so it's still probably worth doubling up the bleed rather than doing the slightly more damaging bleed. So, there we go. Crit bleed. And then... now let's get rid of his stun. Pretty cool. It didn't get rid of the bleed, but I think eventually it can start getting rid of things like that. It's only 50% protection. It's not as much as it could be, but we're going to go ahead and still stun. Try it for a stun instead. There is a configuration of these things weaker with every strike. That's her leadership. That's really cool. So that just did a stress heal with her. That's phenomenally cool. I love it. And there's one of these configurations, we haven't seen it yet, that just heals. Look at this thing. Look how scary that is. That just heals. That one has the least resistance, obviously, so that's when you want to get in your DPS. Stacking the blight on her is not my favorite thing that's happened. And this is probably going to hurt. And got the bleed. Alright. So this thing in the back, this is the thing that heals him, and it is the easiest to hurt.
Well struck.
But it's in the back. Only the Arcanist can get to it. Let's have him get rid of that. And we will have him... I just realized he had an additional crit modifier just for the first turn. I definitely should have not have done the speed thing on the first turn. So Frostfire Bolt. And do decent damage. She wants to get rid of that. And everybody kind of needs some healing, actually. It's pretty nasty. Let's do a group heal. So yeah, this is his heal. And it is obnoxious. Like, he can turn to all 4 of those things, and that is really frustrating because, let's go for DPS. He'll heal up a lot. Like, he doesn't do anything to you. Don't stun my bleed, friend. It's okay, I can clear that stun. You can see every time one of them that's bleeding takes a turn, they take some damage. Oh, this is a good layout. Okay, love it. Unfortunately, he went second, so I can't get the bleed. That's okay though. We'll Dragon's Breath this shit. Crit on the first one, and stun. That's great. And you, there we go, done. Okay, killed it with a crit. I don't feel like I'm in great Shambler shape, but I still think I'm gonna do it. Because I can eat this food. I can go in full torchlight. We'll try it. Worst case scenario, it feels like, is I will have to run. Maybe I'll lose a hero. Unlikely, though. I'll probably run. I'll leave if it starts getting really bad. And best case scenario, okay, having that hamburger tile there is lame. Best case scenario is I get a really badass trinket and a bunch of shining Drapazotedron. Definitely going to go to the secret room first, though. Not an idiot. The nice thing is I think the only one of these classes that's unique right now is the Jester. So if I lost the Jester, it'd be annoying training up another one. But hello.
Waiting to be spent.
Don't need you. Don't need you. Like, obviously would have preferred a head trinket, but the big payday is appreciated. And the even bigger big payday I get from killing the Shambler, which I will certainly do, is even better. Alright, everybody. If you're watching this, cross your fingers. You might know how well I did just from, you know, my title or what have you. Stunning is good. I feel like just doing damage is good, but I was thinking about giving her Mace Bash because sometimes she gets put up to the front. Doesn't do very much damage. But it might be worth doing that instead of the stun. I can't remember how stunnable these things are. I'm going to do that just for shuffle reasons. And then we're going to eat. Okay. Everybody, wish me luck. Real good shuffle. Okay, real good to get him going in the first place. Let's get that big bleed. Okay, you have an additional crit modifier just for the first round, which means I want to be doing something that will crit really well. Crit mod plus 6, crit mod plus 7. So 6 to 11, 4 to 11. Really low stun chance. And this also does more damage than the torch. I didn't think about this guy being bad against Shamblers due to his lack of torch. Well, let's blink first to get that plus 25% damage on this. All right, and let's just... Good crit. All right, thank you. You're getting a turn. Unlikely to stun. Let's go for the DPS. I know this seems like it's going well, but keep in mind he's going to start summoning assholes. Okay, so you can still hit the Shambler. I forgot he takes up 2 spaces. That's going to make... I didn't get the bleed, though. It's going to make this a little bit easier. You can Dragon's Breath these first 2 guys. They're not costing anything. Maybe that's actually going to be easy. What am I talking about? What am I even worried about? Get fucked, Shamblo. Look at that. Land the bleed. 8 damage per round. Dragon's Breath again. The Dragon's Breath with the crit is just incredible. The Arcanist. We're going to heal up the party because I want to be able to go fight more battles after this Shambler? Are you kidding? Ooh, Ancestor's Scroll. That's really good. Yeah. Don't need the Bleed Stone. Can only get up to 50% Torchlight for this fight over here, but we'll do it. And shit, throw another Shambler at me. What do I care? And we're going to go down and do this fight, this Curio, and then possibly that treasure room, depending on how these fights go. Feeling greedy. I got space for it. I'll have these torch... Oh no, I'm out of food. Never mind, I'm leaving. Because if that'll just be not worth the stress. So worth it. Ancestor Scroll is really good. Got this weird thing. Got a lot of money. 20,000. Okay, heirloom. Let's see. Greta and Zach at level 3 means doing veteran things that require a Jester. You got the Ague. Gonna have to get rid of that. Rugged though. That's a good quirk. Like not amazing, but that's good. I'll take it.
In time,
the Scarlet Academy. Tales are spreading from a tavern at once prestigious academy. The Scarlet Academy is home to the skills of artificers, create mystical artifacts. Explore the Scarlet Ruins in search of one of these powerful artifacts. I don't remember installing that again. I kind of fucked up and installed some mods, but we're going to leave it there because this is about as long as I like. No, 26 minutes. We got some extra time. Let's see if we got any new classes. We did. Calling him a Hellion. Supposed to be a different skin for Hellions I took on accident. I didn't mean to do that. But we do have the Wretch. Alright. Warren's Infiltrator. So better trap, disarm the Warren. Morbid. Versus additional damage versus Blight is going to be really good for him. Wind is no big deal. Alright. So he's this little goblin eye, guys. He's based on the Plague. So Sickly Stab. Good crit mod. Bleeds for a minor bleed. Is good at killing blighted stuff. Piercing armor. Contagion. Moves him forward. Does okay damage, or like kind of worse damage. Transfer Blight, 80% chance. Blight, 100%. So this blights somebody, and I think it can take his blight and put it on enemies. He has a blight-related hero. The Swarm gives damages everything for a little bit, blights everything for a little bit, and then does more blight per corpse that it clears. So if you have corpses and you do the Swarm, it's going to do additional blight to the remainder. I think the flavor of that's really cool. And I like rats. We go over here, we got Outbreak, which is a free action. You can only do it with 3 times per battle. Increases his blight skill. The amount of blight skill. Plus 10% crit. And he suffers 4 damage. So that's going to be really useful to do that before I do any of these skills. Catharsis. Heals. And if he's blighted, he heals more and he cures the blight. Has a cooldown. Scurry. Activates a riposte. Puts him back. Does a little bit of damage. Blights himself. So, again, that's his riposte. And then Scapegoat. Force guard an ally. Transfer blight to an ally. Pull 1. 20% protection while blighted. So this is similar to the Antiquarian where you can make other people guard him. But this gives them a blight. And transfers any blight he has, but also makes them additionally protected. And then he's got these camping skills. Rag and Bone. Might be able to scavenge loot. Blights himself. Miasma. Increases the blight duration for the party. And the blight chance, and gives everyone stress. So it makes everybody blighting. I bet you this guy's amazing with the Plague Doctor, actually. In the Ruins, fuck. Suspicious Cure, 1 companion. Has a chance to remove disease. Has a chance to blight. On the mend. Cures himself and removes blight and disease. So I think it's really interesting. We'll name this after a commenter, of course. Yeah. And we'll be going back out and hopefully going to the Red Academy or whatever the fuck that is. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you. And fuck the Incohate Flesh. And bye.